Hi everyone. In my last video here, I was talking about listening to my body more. And I did not explain how I went about doing that. And that's what this video is about. Um, I had no idea that how important listening to your body was. And the universe decided to give me a lesson in that, a very big lesson by I ended up getting MS, and MS actually made me lose feeling in my body. And the crazy thing is that when you lose feeling in your body, you realize what an amazing thing it is to feel. And not just to feel as in feel textures and feel the ground that you're walking on and feel, um, different just being able to feel your way around your surroundings, but also to feel what emotions are going on in you. And I didn't have a lot of body awareness in that department. I didn't know um, how important it was to be in touch with your emotions. I definitely was an emotional person, but I don't know that I had any tools on where to put those emotions, how to express them. I was very shy and kind of kept things to myself and maybe did solitary things like a little bit of artwork and a little bit of um, reading and just kind of like being in my own space. But it wasn't until I got diagnosed with MS that I was realizing that there was a lot of emotions inside of me that wanted to get out. I was realizing that I had a lot of feelings that I didn't even know existed inside. And I started learning that you can tap into not just the emotion, but where it's sitting in your body. And the magic thing that actually helped me discover this was dance. And that's how so this YouTube channel is actually connected to my Dance Me Free Gmail account, and which is also the name of my blog and Facebook page. And Dance Me Free, as I've said in a previous video, is a blog that's dedicated to the power of dance and other arts to heal. And in my last video, I was talking about how I started learning about listening to what my body was telling me. But the way I did that was because I had more of an understanding of what it felt like to normally be in my body. And dance was what taught me that. I started just feeling like just in a normal um, situation in a dance class where we're just kind of getting grounded and feeling the floor and getting a sense of where we're connected in our own bodies so that we connect to our partner, or even just connecting to the floor and the music. All of that became a tool and tools that I didn't know later would be so useful, not just to have fun on the dance floor and to connect with people socially that way and to learn how to move to music, but it also became such a powerful tool for me to connect with what I was feeling and what was like a neutral state of feeling for me. And where in my body I was feeling these feelings, whether it was anger or fear or a little bit of like apprehension or even like caution. Um, I think there are different parts of our body, for everyone it's different, that tell us when something might not be the right thing to do, or that person might not be the right person to move towards, or to spend a bit more time listening to what someone's doing and how they're acting, not just their words. And I wasn't in touch with this enough until I started dancing. Here I thought I was just dancing so that I could look like those graceful, beautiful dancers that I was admiring on the dance floor, whether it was Latin dancing or ballet or belly dance. But I didn't realize that they had this other secret component that I don't know if even all of them know, but they were so connected to their body because of this beautiful, I was going to call it activity, but that's such an understatement. This beautiful source of expression, which was dance. And the more I tapped into my body and what felt good for it and what didn't, and where I might hold certain emotions, um, and what part of my body could tell me that, hey, this is a good choice, or maybe you might want to think about that, or um, the more I could tap into that, the more I was actually able to make decisions that were more in line with what me and my body wanted. And I did not realize that dance was going to give this to me. And I think that is such a, I think it's kind of overlooked. And I can see how we wouldn't want to maybe necessarily focus on it too much, because the idea is to enjoy it and just kind of soak it in, like, indirectly. But I think that for people that, like me, who didn't have something where they knew how to connect to their body, knowing that dance could help me do that and learning how important that could be is so, so powerful. So the more that I was learning to connect different parts of my body and dance and connect it to music, the more I could feel what felt right for me, what made me curious and I might still want to go towards, and what definitely was a no for me. And that is how I started making better decisions in my life. I still kind of messed up sometimes, and I still do sometimes, but I can feel that I have this way closer connection to my body because of dance. And the great thing about that is that when you connect better with your body, it's not just about listening to your body, but you can also talk to your body. So, um, I have mentioned in previous videos that I don't think that the body is working against us. I think it's usually working for us. And even when we get a headache, or when we feel faint, or when we have a weird feeling in our stomach, or even when we get an illness, I don't necessarily think that it's the universe punishing us for something, or that it's just, that bad things happen to good people, or whatever idea you want to, there are sentiments like that I've heard. And I don't believe that. I think that the body's trying to tell us something. So recently, I have been having some issues with my legs, and I've been really catching myself on how I say this, because I don't want to put my legs down. I don't want to say, like, why is this happening and why aren't you working for me, or to make it sound like something negative about a part of my body. I decided that I want to speak to my body and have a conversation with it, and maybe pick that specific part of my body that is not functioning the way that I would want it to, and ask it why. Um, so, for example, with my leg and my hip, it's my left leg and my left hip that is weakening and kind of um, dragging behind sometimes, and not always catching up to the right. And if I try to do some dance steps, or if I'm walking, sometimes um, I feel this heaviness on that side, or it's just like doesn't want to continue. And so I think in the past, I've gotten frustrated, I've gotten scared for myself, I've gotten um, I almost want to say, not in a direct way, but it's almost like I'm like hitting my leg or hitting that part of my body, like, why are you not working, or something like that. And now I take care to make sure that I give it extra care. Like, I would not hit it. I would not, I might give it extra caressing, or extra warmth, or I might ask, like, what is it that you need from me? What can I do to make you want to walk forward or make you want to hold the rest of my weight? Or what is it that I'm not doing that's making you want to slow this down? And I find that taking that approach reminds me that although you could say, like, I'm not my body, because we're much more than the physical body, I also want to say that I'm every part of my body. I'm not just, what I can hear with my voice, or what I can hear with what I can say with my voice, and what I can hear with my ears or see with my eyes. I'm also my toes and my fingertips and my hip and my, um, it could even be like my eyelashes, whatever it is. Like, it's like these parts of me are parts of me, and they're all working together. And how can I help them to work together? Because they do so much for me. They do so much for us. Like, all parts of our body do so much for us. So I decided to start having conversations with my body. And for those of you who are familiar with Louise Hay, she did pass away a few years ago, but she was a pioneer in this whole mind body connection and body talk kind of um, idea. And even if I look in her book now and I look back at, um, if I look, there's a section in the middle of her book, You Can Heal Your Life. And it gives like the issue that is going on in your body, and then the probable cause, and some sort of affirmation or new thought that could that she claimed could take you out of that low point, whatever it is that's bringing you down, or whatever illness you're going through, or whatever symptom it is. And when I look up left leg and left side, it's like connected to the feminine energy and connection to mother. My mom passed away 5 years ago. Um, and I'm still, it's heartbreaking for me still. But I love that there is this idea out there, that there's this acknowledgement that our body is speaking to us. There are parts of my body that are grieving for my mom. There are parts of my body that maybe have been too much in the masculine energy, trying to get things done out of fear that they won't get done otherwise. So that's the left side of the body. It's a feminine energy, and the more that I listen out of curiosity and think, okay, like, what is it that, if my left leg's dragging, or my right fingertips are not feeling as much, or if what is it that my body's trying to tell me, instead of getting in this fear-based position of, oh my gosh, what's happening to me? What do I do next? And I find that it is really fascinating. It's I do feel like my body will start talking back to me. And even if it's not in words, it's in gratitude. It's like I'm making sure my body knows that I'm grateful for it. And it is then rewarding me if I ask it, like, what is it that's stopping you from carrying me forward? Or what am I doing that's stopping you from carrying me forward to take that next step in my leg and my hip? And if it's, like, you need to sit down, or you need to stop worrying, or you need to stop doing so much, or thinking that you're behind, or maybe it's just my body needs a rest. And so I listen and I do it. And the next day, something else might come up. And sometimes that symptom that I went through the day before is gone for a little while. And I love rebuilding of a relationship with our bodies, with my body. Um, I don't even know if I could call it rebuilding, because I didn't have that relationship with it in the past. some people might argue that when we're young and we are just out of the womb and we have a special relationship with our body where we don't judge it, we don't put it down, we don't say there's issues, we can't even say anything about it. We just play and get curious and stuff. So somewhere along the line, I lost that, and I'm so grateful for dance for making me form this relationship with my body. And there were times where I couldn't do certain moves in tango or in salsa or in zouk, and then I would try to practice what is it that's going off in my body. What is my weight in the wrong place? Um is my frame not engaged enough? Am I not using the floor enough? And the more that I could tap into that, and the more I could learn another detail, another nuance, the more I got to know my body. And the more I got to know my body, I think that it was actually very grateful for me forming that relationship, and for me listening to it, and then for me deciding to talk to it and not talk back to it, but just to ask it what it needs, and to thank it for giving me what it does for me, what it's done for me all my life. And so I'm just doing this video to remind us to be very grateful for our bodies. We are spiritual beings in a body, but our body is what is the vessel that is carrying us through this life. And I think that we are all built in different ways and might have little imperfections, if you could call it that, for reasons. And I know that in the past I wasn't very grateful. I kind of saw past. I didn't see that. I kind of overlooked it, is what I'm trying to say. And dance helped me come back to myself and to my body. And that is how I was able to connect more with what it was telling me. And that is how I continue to connect with what my body wants me to do next. So it's a fascinating journey. I love looking at what I go through in this way, and it helps me to appreciate when I look at other people going through struggles or going through um, even just learning a new activity that involves the body. I just have so much admiration for what we can do with our bodies, especially when we work with it instead of against it. So that is my video for today, Body Talk, how dance can teach you how to connect and listen to your body more. Thank you all for listening.